Okay, that's a little better. All right, how many folks are here? All right, we'll wait a few minutes. Sorry, I'm running a little bit later than I anticipated. I thought it'd be like maybe 5-10 minutes after 7, but then I got tied up. I know a lot of you folks got work in the morning and things like that. Okay, let's get some people in here. We'll start talking, shall we? All right, there's one. Say hello as you come in. Say don't be shy, don't be afraid. Doobie, doobie, doobie. Yes, the controversy's flowing as usual. Um. All right. Oh, good. We got 7 people here. Come on. Come and sit down. Oh, come on, let's gather around. Let's have a little talk. We're not going to go have long, wet, hot showers together or anything. We're just going to sit down and have a conversation. I know Philip would like that, but okay. God, I love you, Philip. All right. How's everybody doing tonight? For you trivia fact, for you weirdos out there, while we're waiting for some more folks to come on in, tomorrow is a momentous day. It is an incredible day. It'll be a fantastic day. And you know why? Okay, no answers. Because I turn 48 tomorrow. Wait, all right. I know a lot of people are like, okay, when are they going to come out and say it? That Billie Piper's like going to be in Doctor Who. And it's like, at this point in time, it's all conjecture. And a lot of it's based off a series of like bullshit events. Somebody's been running around, I think it was Gallifrey Base, that said, oh, by the way, Lady Gallifrey wanted to say thank you to all you folks out there who said, happy birthday to her in the comment boxes and whatnot. So I wanted to, get that out there before I forget it. But here's the thing. All right, now, Shaggy, you're bringing up some good questions. I'm going to get to that in a second. All right, this is what's going on. Somebody ran around, I guess apparently it was either Gallifrey Base or one of the other chat things, and said, basically, somebody's going to be returning and they're going to be on set Monday. Then you had Billie Piper on her Snapchat say she's making an announcement on Monday. All right, so we got to remember, you're right still in the coincidence field, all right? Now, add on to that, get ready for this. She signed off her Snapchat photo with a rose emoji. Still not convincing, okay? But then you add in one of the sound engineers who's probably getting their, they've probably, you ever seen that scene from Animal House, where everybody's getting, inducted into the Alpha House or whatever it was, not Delta House, which was the cool one, but or whatever the hell they were. Yeah, and they're giving Kevin Bacon a spank, and that's probably what they're doing to that poor sound engineer right now. They had this huge paddle because they put out, I think it was on their Instagram or their Twitter, I can't remember which, that this picture of just, their monitor and their sound equipment. And the thing is, if you looked up at the monitor that was at the top part, right there, plain as day, are roundels. So basically, whatever the sound was, or that this person was working on, right there, plain as day, are classic series roundels. Now, people have been going on about, all right, why would there be a default TARDIS resembling 10? Okay, that was Shaggy. All right, Shaggy, here's the problem. The only reason they were so readily using the 10th Doctor, 9th, 10th Doctor console room, when it popped up later and whatnot, and also for Day of the Doctor, was because it was still set up. It was, I believe, over at the Doctor Who Experience, if memory serves. They were even letting people do tours of Capaldi's. But you got to remember, 10's TARDIS, 910's TARDIS console room and Capaldi's TARDIS console room are sound stages of their own, basically. And when the experience shut down, 9 and 10's console room went into storage. From what I've seen of the new live exhibition, they don't have the room to put anything that massive up. So, as far as I know, but the first Doctor console room that you saw in Adventure in Space and Time, Twice Upon a Time, and whatnot, amongst others, the reason why you saw that all the time is because guess what? Good old-fashioned console room, simple, basic. Put up some walls, throw in a console. There's your scanner, and there you go. It's not all that hard to do. So, if there is another Time Lord / Time Lady involved in Series 12, and that's what was on the screen, okay, so be it. It's possible. Now, this is what's throwing the gas on the fire. We got a couple people out there in Twitter land. Now, I'm not pointing the finger at like Ace Creeper because he's like same as me. He's like, what the hell's going on? I'll believe it when I see it. But then you got somebody else out there still trying to throw gas on this fire that if you look, there's a script page sitting in that image. And apparently if you zoom in real close, but the problem is I've zoomed up on that photo a billion times and you really can't see jack squat. You know, it looks like Egyptian hieroglyphics to me, all right, because of the resolution of the photo, things like that. All right, is everybody still out there? You still with me? You see where I'm going? Somebody give me a hell yeah, okay, because the chat box has gone dead, and I don't know if I'm live still or not. Because for what I've heard, YouTube's had problems all day. Okay, there it goes. Sorry about that. It's just the box got a little quiet there, and when that happens, sometimes I think it's locked up, all right? Now, it could, someone goes, well, why didn't they mention her with the Jadoon? That's my other big concern about this whole thing. If you're going to announce the Jadoon returning, why not throw Billie Piper into the mix, if that's true? Because right there, you're guaranteed to get circulation from here. Come on. Even witch doctors in the freaking heart of the Congo would be going, boom, 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 Billie Piper's back in Doctor Who, boom, boom, boom. It would be all over the freaking place. Guaranteed publicity from here to the Yucatan. Martians up there would be like wiping off the Curiosity rover thing. Going, wait. He say Billie Piper back. I'm not kidding. She have nice bottom for human. So, okay, you're one of the guys that I can't. Here's the problem. Someone's saying it says roses. Matter of fact, the latest speculation is, get ready for this, interior Rose's TARDIS. Now, there's also the one guy saying interior Ruth's TARDIS. It's not that discernible. You have to remember, when they put these photos out on Instagram, Twitter, and all that, you're at mercy to whatever resolution the person took the photo in. Exactly. Or we've been faked out before. Let me give you a classic example. When they were filming Series 11, remember the funeral scene got leaked. What happened was this. When they had the extras in the chapel and they had Bradley Walsh reading off that brilliant, eulogy. When he did the eulogy in the chapel with the extras, he said, and this is the funeral for my son David, or the ceremony. When the extras left, they reshot that bit, and he said, this is for my wife, what's her name? Oh, God, let's see, I'm blanking. I blinked on her name. I feel bad, too. However do you want me? But you know who I'm talking about. Grace, thank you. So basically, they did that to fake out any, spoiler hounds. Matter of fact, during the 50th anniversary year, I'll never forget, a fake script was deliberately left in a cab. And that script was so fake. Somebody passed it to me, and I'm like, okay, this is faker and shit. Because for one, it was like, I can't remember how many pages. There was no way they were going to fit it into the 75-minute time limit that was on. And Plus, it was basically every classic fan's wet dream. It was, wow. I'll put it to you this way. During the 50th anniversary year, I had a guy contacting me on Skype. And I was like, I had a lot of people doing this back in the day. It doesn't happen that often anymore. But there are people who will try to feed you misinformation because, they think it's funny. And they like to see, they try to make a fool out of you because it, gets them an erection. I don't know what. Maybe it's how they get it up in the morning. It's the only way they can get out of bed. I don't know. But this one fellow was hiding under the image of somebody who I knew off another group. So right there, red flag. Number 2, he tells me that he's an intern in the special effects company, but then goes on to tell me this story about how he saw Stephen Moffat walking by and stopped him in the hallway and had a conversation. Now, folks, for you folks who remember back in the day, the VFX company, I believe at that time, was the company that became Milk, which means it was not in-house. It was not at Rothlock. So flag number 2 right there in capital letters. And plus, he kept talking about he saw them on set. One of the ones he tried to hit me with, I just saw the scene between Ian Chesterton, Susan Foreman, and Matt Smith, and it was very touching. And I'm like, if you're an intern, you're, with the VFX company in the IT department, which means he was basically a number cruncher. Why would you be anywhere near the set at Rothlock or anywhere else? And it's like, I kept telling him, dude, I don't believe a goddamn word you're saying. Would you please cut it out? And finally it got down to the point I was like, he goes, trust me, this is going to happen. This is going to happen. So I let him ramble on. This went on for like a couple weeks. I just let him sit there, go on and on and on. I couldn't get him to shut up, basically. I believe it was a him. I don't know. And finally he goes into, this happened, that happened. They're bringing all the doctors back. And I finally said, stop. Okay. Because one thing he kept reiterating throughout this whole couple week period was how he had seen the full script for Day of the Doctor at that time. And finally, one night he's sitting there going on. I just couldn't take it anymore. And I go, how many pages was the script? And the text stopped. They stopped dead. I'm talking like, and I could hear this idiot sitting. I could actually hear his brain patterns as he was trying to figure out how many pages would be, because by then we already knew it was going to be 75 minutes. And like I said, the other big red flag was the things he was going into. They were never going to fit into a 75-minute special. But, and finally it went on to the point, I think he said some ridiculous number like 133. And I was like, goodbye, click. And finally I just blocked him. I couldn't take it anymore. It's like right there, you finally proved to me you were full of shit, because 130, 140 page script would be like 2 hours if it was all dialogue, or 2.5 hours, depending on the, speed of the scene and whatnot. And I just couldn't do it anymore. But okay, speculation about Rose, how they could do it. Now, remember, as we've said before, they have the First Doctor's TARDIS console room, which, like any other console room, you see, this is what pisses me off. They could be using any console they want. They've got all of them. The Experience has them, I believe, or the Exhibition as it is now. And they're very easily set up. It's a no-brainer. It takes all of 15 minutes to rig a power cable to it, plug it in, and look, it goes beep, bleep, bleep, and makes beautiful. Well, the noises are added in later. But they could be using Fifth Doctor post 5 Doctor console. They've got a copy of it. They've got the Fourth Doctor's console that was used all the way up to the 5 Doctors. They got that. They've got the First Doctor's console, which could be modified in any number of ways. to look like, matter of fact, a lot of people don't realize this, but Pertwee was using the original Hartnell console all the way up to Inferno. And that's when they had to replace. They finally came in and replaced it and built another one, if I remember right. Matter of fact, the original TARDIS prop, the police box, made it all the way to Mask of Mandragora. And it was just kind of got to the point it was falling apart. I think it almost fell in. I think if you folks remember the story, I think it almost fell in on Liz Sladen and Tom Baker, and they finally said, "That's it. We got to get another one." And okay, so nothing wrong. All right, let's go. Let's say it's true. All right, all right. Vidography's got a good point. This is the thought that hit me. All right. How many people out here who are watching remember there was a deleted scene from the end of Journey's End? You know which one I'm talking about, right? When Donna, the doctor, the Metacrisis doctor, and Rose are out on the beach at Bad Wolf Bay at the end. Now, this particular prop wound up over on Torchwood, by the way. The doctor was supposed to hand them a piece of what looked like coral, little thing of, and it was a TARDIS, or the beginnings of a TARDIS. And then he said, "Oh, this will take years to grow to even be functional, blah, blah, blah." And then Donna, who's still got this mind whammy going on, sorry, my voice is breaking up. Still got a little bit of chest congestion going on, and being out in this weather with the allergies, going on, it didn't help either. But yeah, you could do one like the doctor's wife. It doesn't have to be complicated, but this piece of coral was supposed to be a TARDIS that, when grown, would become a fully functional TARDIS on its own. And Donna rattles off this thing about saying, if you do this, 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 and this, basically within so many years, you could have a functioning TARDIS. But that whole scene was deleted and left on the cutting room floor. Now, later on, RTD always said, well, you could say it took place off screen. Let me throw this double hitter whammo at you. Something has happened to the Metacrisis doctor. The Rose that we're going to meet is a few years down the line. And she now has a basic working TARDIS from that one that I just told you about. That could also be the reason why it's got the basic roundels. Now, I agree with you, John. I don't know why they would bring Rose back at this point. Her story's been told. I think it was ended well. And the thing of the matter is, as I keep saying, there were so many classic companions out there whose story never got finished. Like, even if you listen to Big Finish, they do hint at, but they never really tell you when or how Ace does leave. Because they did their own twist on the Cartmel Master Plan, lost episodes thing, where the Time Lords ended up reneging on the deal, so you don't know when she actually leaves the Doctor or not. And then eventually she does, and then for a while she's helping the Time Lords, but you never really find out how she winds up back on Earth. Exactly. It could be anything. And that's what I've been trying to tell people. Billie Piper's involved in many different projects now. She's living her own life. It could be anything. Well, if you're talking about Mel Bush, Mike, in Big Finish, Mel Bush was 10 times better written, far more, fleshed out. They gave her a lot more to do. She actually got to use her computer skills. I've heard nothing about Doctor Who going to mornings or anything. All right, why are there more TV talk shows coming on in the morning? Because reality TV shows are easier to produce, especially talk shows, than a group ensemble cast soap opera. It's just a matter of numbers. Exactly, videography. You're right. It's using a Rose emoji because you once played a character named Rose. Doesn't mean jack squat. Okay, come on, talk to me, folks. Is there anything else, any other cause or concern? As I said, yeah, Ian Chesterton was going to come back a long time ago. Now that you've brought it up, I'll go on it. Justin, good mention. How many here remember an episode called Modern Undead? Any old school fans? You know which one I'm talking about. Give it to me. How many here remember Modern Undead? Give me a hell yeah. Just making sure you're participating. Stay with me here. Feel free to hit that smart button or whatever it is too. Throw me a couple bucks every now and then. All right. I forgot to mention the super chat's enabled if you want to hit it. Yep, brought us in the Black Guardian, brought in Turlo, but we also were reintroduced to the Brigadier. Now, what a lot of people don't know is that was supposed to be Ian Chesterton. But what happened was something happened where William Russell was not available. Originally, yeah, that was supposed to be Ian Chesterton being reunited with the Doctor in Modern Undead. And something happened. There was a conflict. And Nick Courtney, they called him up and he goes, look, I'll gladly fill in. And that's what led to one of the biggest weirdo paradoxes of the Brigadier's career. All right, now I haven't heard anything about Day of the Doctor or the Caretaker. All I know is in Day of the Doctor, if you look at the Coal Hill School sign, Ian Chesterton's basically the head of the Board of Governors, which really pissed me off because then he's never on it. He's never shown. Meanwhile, William Russell's in his 90s now, and the poor guy, like I said, it just seems to me like the BBC's grand master plan is just basically sit back and let all these people die, and that way they ain't got to worry about it anymore. Like, there's been people clamoring for Susan Foreman to show back up for decades now, and it's like, ugh. She was back in Big Finish, if you listen to there, though. She reunites with the 8th Doctor. I really don't like to count the 5 Doctors thing because that was one of the things that threw me for a loop. Was here's the Doctor re-meeting his granddaughter for the first time in how long? Oh, hi, how's it hanging? You know, like, really? Ugh. Also, yeah, there's the Romanas. Mary Tam, Sally no longer with us. Lala Ward still. A lot of people don't realize it, but Juliet Landau is Romana 3. But she was only a Big Finish. Tegan, her story is kind of complicated as well, but I wouldn't mind seeing her come back if it was, written pretty good. Yeah, that's what I mean. They just didn't have really much time. Yes, the dimensions in time. Oh, my liver. Oh, sorry. Hang on. I'm going to drown some coffee here. Yeah, because they had the crossover with frickin' EastEnders of all things. Really? Who thought that was a good idea? Ugh. Well, Yeah, Perry was supposed to die. And they threw that thing in later. Even Nicola Bryant hadn't seen it till when they did the DVD commentary, where they added in the part at the end that basically she went off with King Yakarno. She didn't like it either. Dimensions in Time. For you folks who are just coming in, you youngsters, Dimensions in Time. Now keep this in your brains. For you, well, then again, you're not going to understand the reference. But what the fuck? Whoops, I said a bird word. Oh, I guess there won't be no ads for this one. Dimensions in Time is the Doctor Who. What the Star Wars Holiday Variety Special is the Star Wars. It's something that got together and did that nobody wants to remember. Oh, man, that was horrible. Who the hell thought that was a good idea? Right there, J&T should have been fired if he was behind that one. Then again, that's right. By that time, he already was. But okay, yeah, what the hell was... Yeah, they could have taken that time that they wasted on characters from EastEnders and put it into what might have been a halfway good story. Well, I don't think it was Colin Baker's, was it? Because, I don't know. I could have swore he did tell that story once, and I can't remember it. Do you think that a soap opera will get canceled, BBC and USA? Well, I have no idea what you're talking about, Jessica. I'm very sorry. The Ronnie, like I said, that could have been so much better if they'd done it in the modern era. But as I said, that all turned out to be bullshit. That's one of the reasons I started doing this. Is because back in the 5th season, the Mirror was putting out, remember the Mirror? Them synced as, the untold truth that are never wrong. Yeah, people seem to forget back during Series 5, they were telling people that Gillian Anderson had been signed to play the Ronnie as the head villain for the end of that season. Yeah, that happened. Sorry, I'm drying out a bit here, so down some more fluid. Questions, concerns, queries. And I don't think Rose is coming back. Like I said, it's not that it's outside the realm of possibility. It's just the fact that why? Other than to get a bunch of the fans back from earlier in the series, I don't see why. The trial thing was kind of answered in Perry and the... I think it was Perry and the Pescadon Paradox. Where basically because of some regime changes and whatnot, it's a long story, but by the time they were done, they ended up, the Time Lords screwed up and there was 5 different Perrys. Sorry that you had to see that on camera, but like I said, it's a topic of conversation that's been going around. I thought I'd get on it and say, look, here's my opinion. I'll believe it when I see it. Not 1 minute before. Oh, yeah, here's something else I want to talk about. There's a jerk off, and I stress it, running around now on YouTube. I won't give any names, but he's sitting there talking about how he has these sources who are telling him all this stuff. Yet he doesn't make videos about it until after the announcement is made. This confirms what my source said. Now, this idiot / brain dead / moron, like I said, I was no fan of the fan show. I never really got into Chris Dild's, schlock on it. But I didn't hate the lady either. Well, I don't know what she identified, but still, I didn't hate her either. This guy is now running around telling people that Chris Dildy got sacked and that he had this inside source and He's even showing this text message that he got from this guy. I'm like, dude, you know how easy it is to fake text messages and do a screen grab of them? I've seen it done so many times, it makes me sick. And the thing is, now it's gone to outright slander. The thing is, I know a couple people who know this person, and they were actively looking to get out of the BBC for a while now. So that whole story about how she got fired is a ton of steaming bullshit. I'm tired of the Weeping Angels. I think they've gotten to the point of suckdom. I'm sorry. It's just when you take characters that are ultra powerful and then you start throwing the rules out of what governs that power, it just goes from ridiculous to silly. And, well, Martha Jones ended up with Mickey Smith. Well, it's just some people don't identify. I don't know the whole pronoun agenda. It's just, I didn't want to be insulting. I'm trying to be a little politically correct, and I have no idea how to anymore. It's just there's so many weird rules and regulations out there. I don't know. But nope, she was not fired. Yeah, plus the Angels rake Manhattan, or the 530-second ending scenes of, Amy and Rory, or let's drag them back for 5 adventures to give the most miserable companion departure ever. And I don't care how many people go, it was so touching. It was moronic. Come on. You go through a how many minute segment at the beginning teaser just to get this idiot running on top of a building going, oh, look, it's a giant Weeping Angel Statue of Liberty. Meanwhile, they established that later in the story without wasting 5 minutes at the beginning. And it's like that, they're sending people back in time again. And it's like, okay, are they sending people back in time this time, or are they breaking their necks and stealing their consciousness again? You see what I mean? Not to mention you got how many millions of people living in New York at that time period. Now they're just flitting around all over the place. We're having an angel parade. Hey, hey, hey. It was horrible. First, they're going off the site. And by the way, here comes the part everybody forgets. I'm so sad, River. Now, if I was River, I would have been, Doc, is it just me, or did we just leave a weeping angel standing in a cemetery in the middle of New York? Oh. And yeah, Clara should have been left where she was, dead. I'm very sorry. She made a mistake. She paid for it. She died bravely. No, let's drag her back, make her immortal, give her an immortal companion and her own TARDIS. That's Claire. And people are saying she's not a Mary Sue. Let me see. I've saved the Doctor in every incarnation. I met the Doctor when he was a boy and basically gave him the very inspiration to go out and do what he has to do later. I'm now immortal, have my own TARDIS with my own immortal super companion, and we're going to flit about the universe for a couple billion years before I have to go back and die. I functionally cannot be hurt either. And yet people ate this shit up. It's like, it's garbage. Just like Day of the Doctor was garbage. I still can't believe people think that was good. The Zygons get a magical time crystal. I got an idea. We're running the planet in the 15th or 16th century. Let's go to the future where we're even more outnumbered and they now have weapons that could kill us from range. With even more technologically advanced weaponry. Well, that was in the works, so they decided to bring Clara back. Believe it or not, a lot of people don't realize this. Faye Marseille was on the list to be the new companion. Moffat and gang have finally come out and said that. Shona was probably going to be the next companion. Yes, but you see what I mean? She's immortal. She's like Jack. She's a fixed event in space and time. She can't be hurt. What? They should have had him die when Hartnell left. Are you on crack? Oh. No, Clara should have been dead and faced the Raven. It would have been bold. It would have been daring. It would have ended the whole basically Moffat making death a joke thing. It would have really brought his A game back to the old thing. And like I said, I enjoyed Heaven Sent and Hell Bent up to the last couple of minutes when they dragged, the whole Clara sideline thing in. Or I think the Clara in the restaurant would have been far better served if it turned out she was one of the Splinter Claras. Rather than, oh, look, it's a TARDIS. We're going to fly away. I'm glad I've cheered somebody up out there. But no, they've got their own TARDIS now. They're going to flit around everywhere. That can't lead to any problems. Why, Jessica, forgive me, but I'm not really a talk show guy anymore. The last guy that I talked to, or the last guy I actually watched, was Craig Ferguson. And when he left, that was pretty much it for me. I couldn't do it anymore. I loved Craig Ferguson's show. I loved the old Jeff Peterson, the gay robot. The whole format, like I said, because I used to come into work, come home from work. At that time, I was working 5:30 at night till 4 in the morning. And what I do is I'd always make sure I had it on DVR or other means, that night's episode of Craig Ferguson, so that way I could sit there and watch it when I got in about 4:30 in the morning. Because after being at work 10-hour shifts, I just needed that pick-me-up. It really picked me up when I needed it. And when Craig left, that was it for me as far as talk shows go. I'll look in on clips every now and then, but it's just never been as magical as the Craig Ferguson show. Nothing's really ever replaced it for me. Well, the thing is, the reason why they haven't had the Cybermen back is a lot of people were bitching and complaining the Cybermen and the Daleks were getting overdone, which is why I was glad they did what they did in Twice Upon a Time and all that, where they brought the Cybermen right back from their roots from the Mondasian ones. So, well, Clara technically can live as long as she wants. As long as someday, in the far-flung future, she goes back to Gallifrey and checks out, it could be billions of years. Oh, yeah, Wendy. But how would you do it? I got to remember, Zoe, Jamie, and all that don't remember her. They remember the Doctor, I mean. So that'd be, well, other than one adventure with him, apparently, or meeting him. And that would be kind of tricky. Now, they've done it in Big Finish with Companion Chronicles. And they did a really good job of it. Yeah, hopefully I'll be meeting Wendy Padbury again week after next. I'm always excited for Doctor Who. I'm not going to sit here and go, from what I've seen, it's going to suck. Because I'm now an expert in television production. Because I did a show on YouTube and I's got thousands of followers. Now I's a spexpert. And it's going to suck because even though the show got highest ratings numbers, it still had some decline in that year. Therefore, it's bleeding fans. I can't believe some of the idiotic nonsense I've seen. I love how it fits with what Tom Baker said. There's people who, alter the facts to fit their views rather than alter their views to fit the facts. Because whether they like it or not, Series 11 finished with just shy of an 8 million viewer average rating, which is the highest it's been since, I think, the Tenet era. And it's like, look it up. Ace Creeper even did a chart. Like I said, you're going to have to back dial a little bit, Rose, because we already went over that a bit about how fans came back for intrigue. No, it couldn't have been the fact they like Doctor Who. Or it couldn't be the fact that some of them might have actually enjoyed some of Series 11. No. It couldn't be that, because I is a social media acolyte and I know all. I'm sorry. I don't care what shtick you have. I don't care how many thousands of subscribers you have. I don't care how many people are sending you money on your Instagram or not on your Patreon. You still can't deny the fact Series 11 stirred shit up. Whether you see it as good or bad, either way, it's called publicity. People were bitching that all the regular classic villains were being overused. So what do they do? Oh, look, I'm going to try something new. For one, whether you hate it, like it or not, like I said, I love Peter Capaldi to death, but the ratings were going literally like that. The ratings for Capaldi, well, even Matt Smith was slipping. It was already on its way into the avalanche before Peter came on, to be honest with you. But a lot of people wouldn't accept Peter Capaldi either. And I'm loving how these hypocrites are out there jumping up and down who are anti-Jodie. I'm like, where the hell were you when Peter Capaldi needed you? Where were you, millions of disgruntled fans that are allegedly millions, when Peter Capaldi's ratings were dropping into the goddamn toilet? Where were you? And of course they all clam up when you say that, because a lot of these guys just suddenly said, oh, look, Doctor Who's got a female doctor. I can cash in on this. If you want, guys, go back. You'll find it. It was a live stream. The day Jodie Whittaker was announced, I was out on my lawnmower. And I just got done, doing the lawn. And as I said, I support the doctor. I don't care who they are. I don't care if they're male or female. I don't care if they're some three-eyed, bug-eyed suckfish from Alpha Centauri. Series 11 was not all bad. I've seen far worse. Let's hum a few bars, shall we? Curse of the Black Rot. Oh. Fear her. Love and Monsters. Yeah, Rim Rash, a.k.a. Time Lash. There have been horrible seasons that have made Series 11 look like a frickin' Oscar. I didn't get into Let's Kill Hitler either. To me, the Test Selector was the most moronic goddamn concept I have ever seen in my fucking life. It really was. Let's build a gigantic, shape-changing time machine to go back and torture people before they die. What? Like I said, all right, we do not have an air date as yet. Very sorry. Now you've got someone saying early 2020. Most of them are still saying early 2020. Yeah, Let's Kill Hitler was horrible. I could not get into it. Except for maybe the last couple minutes, and even then, River burning all her regenerations just for the sake of, okay, we've got her into the Alex Kingston body. Now we got to figure a way to keep her there. Yeah, the Tesseract was just a fucking waste of material. Please tell me, how many governments do you know of, or even organizations, will go out and spend billions, if not trillions of dollars to create a time-traveling, shape-changing robot with people riding around inside it like something from Men in Black to kill people or torture them before they die, just to get some personal sense of satisfaction that they were tortured before they died? It doesn't make any goddamn sense. Yet people eat it up like it's goddamn candy. Like I said, Day of the Doctor was total shit, yet people ate it up like it was candy. Ugh. Here's our magic time crystal that'll never be explained where it came from, how the Zygons got it. It's called a MacGuffin device, people. Ugh. But you have to look at the position Chimballs. Now people got me saying Chibnall was in. The Capaldi era ratings by the time it got to the end, go look them up. They had an episode that didn't even make $4 million on the overnight. It didn't even make $3.5. It was like $3.45 million on the overnight. And now you got Chibnall coming in, and it's like, I can't do anything like they did before, or I'll be accused of copying their shit. Or I can try to go on a whole new tangent and see if it sticks and maybe get this show back on the road. And that's always a very risky business. If only JNT had left soon. Like the fact he decided to do a female doctor now. One of my favorite sayings by a friend of mine. It just wasn't the right time. And I'm like, when was it going to be the right time? To quote Ronald Reagan, if not us, then who? If not now, then when? It's like, when do you think it was going to be? It was never going to be the right time for a female doctor ever. At least not to a bunch of the fans that are out there. Yeah. Moffat made death a joke. Look at how many times Amy died. Look at how many times Rory died. Look at how many times Clara died. Death was a joke. And that's one of the things I really couldn't stand about the Moffat era. Exactly. Every showrunner, especially the guy who's come in after there's been an established order, is really, okay, to give you a classic example, how many people here remember the show Babylon 5? One of my favorite sayings on Babylon 5 was by Londo Mollari. He said, inauguration on my world is a signal to assassins that a new target has been set up on the firing range. That's exactly what handover means at the BBC, new showrunner. Well, folks, I'm going to give you about maybe 15 more minutes or so. Then I got to get off here because I do want to get back to work on. I'm working on the last chapters of What Lies Beneath, which is the Dr. Freedom Eric audios. Oh, Jesus. Okay, Rose, there's a rumor going around that Billie Piper is coming back to Doctor Who, And so far, it's all speculation. It's all unfounded. There's nothing rock solid to prove it. It's just a series of coincidences that a lot of people are holding up going, it is happening. The second coming of wrath. And it's like, it's not been proven. Personally, I think they should have all left at the end of this series and got somebody new in again. It's not like I have any. It's like, come on, I love Graham. I love Yasmin, but it's just they're just not doing a whole lot with her, and Ryan's getting to be too much like Bullwinkle the Moose. Yeah, RTD had his flaws too. Yet everybody forgets it. Folks, let me ask you a question. Here's your trivia question. Any one of you there in the comment box can list me like the first 2 or 3 episodes. Well, besides Rose, what came after Rose in series, in the first series of Eccleston? I believe it was what? What was it? Like Aliens of London. Yeah, all right. Was it End of the World? Yeah, End of the World was good. After that was what? When I'm talking when they got to like Aliens of London. I'm Quiet Dead. Okay, you're right. That was good. All right. But then let's name off the ones with the Slitheen. Do you honestly think that without Eccleston, they'd have made it past the Slitheen episodes? The Slitheen to me were just moronic as hell. Aliens are running World War III, and then we'll throw in Boomtown. Well, you honestly think that any other person could have pulled off a line like this? Would you mind not farting while I'm trying to save the world? Do you think anybody would have taken that line seriously? Exactly. I didn't like the Slitheen either, never have. I thought the Slitheen were nothing more than mutant Cupid things from the apocalypse. And so, like I said, RTD had his problems too. Like I said, he's the one that brought us Fear Her. Oh, dare I say it. Love and monsters. And they were almost dumb enough to bring Elton back as one of the children of time. I've been trying to avoid looking at the new Men in Black movie because, I just don't know if I want to watch it. Okay, a few more minutes. Yeah, we all wish Chris Eccleston would have stayed longer, but once you saw the what do you call it? Once you saw, later on you find out that he was having a lot of troubles with the upper, echelons, and I still think Chris had a problem with RTD. Because as far as I know, they still ain't talking. Sorry for you folks who had to listen to that in stereo. I really wish, Eccleston would do Big Finish also. But unfortunately, as long as they got some, 20-year-old kid in there who read all the doctors for you, why should they bother? Nothing against Mr. Dudman. It's just I can't do it. I tried. I just could not get into the, thing. It's just I just couldn't do it. I'll believe it. I'll believe Eccleston's going to be back when I see him on the screen as the Doctor again. Because contrary to popular belief, Eccleston has never had a problem with Doctor Who. And he never has. Matter of fact, anybody can walk up to him at the stage door, hand him a picture of him as the Doctor. He'll gladly sign it for you. He won't charge you nothing. Which is why I was dying laughing when people were throwing a fit because of how much they were charging at the con. Back over here. Yeah, well, it's somewhere over there. Oh, right there. My friend Elijah, you can just see the edge of it right here. That's an autographed picture of Chris Eccleston my friend Elijah got for me while he was in London. And he didn't charge him a thing for it. He signed a couple of them for him. He just went to the stage door. So if you're ever in that area and you see Chris Eccleston, don't be afraid to walk up and say, look, I really appreciate your time on the show. Would you sign an autograph for me? Because chances are he will. So, no, I just had it on today. I've been leaving it off for a while because we got the AC running now, so. Tell you what, folks, about 4 more minutes and I'm pulling out. I'm pulling out. Oh, I'm still recovering from a head and chest cold from this past week, so my voice is going in and out. I'm still a little phlegmy. Yeah, side door Jenna. Who, by the way, I was really hoping to meet at Chicago TARDIS. She canceled, of course. New hats recently, like I said, the newest one I have, like I said, is the sheriff's hat up there. And I've already shown that one before on camera. I finally got around to wearing one of the fire helmets on camera. I got another one over there I haven't worn on camera yet. That was the one with Dickens was the Unquiet Dead. Oh, yeah, I've been compared to Dr. Phil. I've been compared to a lot of weirdos out there. Okay, so about 2 more minutes and I got to buzz, guys, because I got to get up for work in the morning. Once again, let's recap for you folks who came in late. There's speculation about that Billie Piper has hinted that she's coming back to Doctor Who. Because, all right, here was the facts. Somebody on Gallifrey Base put up that apparently, and I think it was Gallifrey Base, that somebody said there was going to be a returning character that was going to show up this Monday. So, and then Billie Piper says she's announcing something on Monday. So right there, remember, we're falling into the whole coincidence realm. Because Billie Piper is doing a lot of different things right now. But Dr. Freedom, she ended her Snapchat with a rose emoji. So basically you're telling me that because she once played a character named Rose, she can't use a rose emoji without indicating that she's coming back to the show. Also remember, Billie Piper's doing films, theater, all kinds of stuff. And so it could be anything. Now, we also had a photo pop up from, hang on. We also had a photo pop up on Twitter, Instagram, and all that was from a sound engineer who works on Series 12 that apparently they forgot that their monitor was still at the top of the screen showing some roundels, and there was apparently a script lying in the foreground that a lot of people are zooming in on saying interior Rose's TARDIS. It's a shooting script. But remember, stuff like this gets planted all the time. Here's another example. How many of you folks out there have watched Walking Dead? Any of you Walking Dead fans? Before I go. Remember the infamous, scene with Negan and the bat, and you don't know whose head he's going to smash in? What they did was, because AMC and all that knew, there were guys with, drones hanging around and shit like that. They filmed that scene with him killing each one who was in that group. So they filmed a different variant of that scene for everybody that was in that circle. So that way nobody knew who actually got killed till it went to air. So and that's another theory too. We could just be looking at another part of Jodie's TARDIS that hasn't gotten caught up yet. I agree with you, Renegade. I kind of knew it was going to be Abraham because his story was pretty much done at that point. So now, Glenn, they did catch me by surprise, but even though it was in the comics, I thought they'd do something different, the throwaway. But then again, there was also stories that he hadn't been seen on set after that point anyway. So, okay, folks, well, I'm going to go ahead and check out on you once again until you see a formal announcement from Miss Piper tomorrow, or until you see an announcement from the BBC. Don't believe what a lot of these guys are out there doing, because what they're doing is there's a lot of guys out there who are genuinely nice trying to tell you, look, we don't know. But there's a lot of people out there now who are trying to cash in on this, get you to come to their YouTube channel, hand them money, which I can't figure out why people are handing channels like certain ones that do news, and I won't say it because I love that channel. Why are you giving them money when they get hundreds of thousands of views? They should be making enough money to handle their own shit. Me, I would do a Patreon account because I want to get more guests on for the Dr. Freedom and Eric audios, and that ain't cheap, and I don't make enough with what I'm getting off YouTube here just doing this channel as a hobby that I would need. So, well, I got to get it running, folks. It's going on 8:30 here, and I got to get my butt ready to go to bed in a little bit. So, please don't go hog wild. Don't go crazy. Take it day by day. Patience, young grasshopper. Don't get excited about it until you see it as a formal BBC announcement, or unless you see Billie Piper on set tomorrow, then I'd say, okay, get excited. But until then, don't go crazy. Don't go hog wild. Don't believe everything that you breathe, kids. Good night.